Okay, so really quickly, I was just doing a random reading. I was about to go to bed, but I wanted to just, just go through and do a little reading. And I hadn't really picked up my Wild Unknown archetype, not archetype, Wild Unknown tarot cards in a while, and I wanted to like get back in touch with them. So I don't really always ask questions, but I wanted to just go in and just really connect with the cards. And so I just did a really quick 3 card reading. And so what came out was the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Wands in reverse, and the King of Wands in reverse. And so when the 10 of Pentacles came out in the reverse, I was asking, what is it like to be disconnected from, from a legacy? What does it feel like to be disconnected from, the idea of like a white picket fence, or, having, having a big house with like a 3-car garage, or, having the corner C-suite. How does it feel to, what is the feeling of that? And that's what it's looking like, is there's this sort of disconnection from the things that define, success and fulfillment, or successful for fulfillment. Now the 8 of Wands in the reverse talks a little bit about jealousy, jealous acts, or something. There is just some sort of feeling of jealousy here, where there's no, it's almost like, there's no one coming to save you. Instead, it's someone being very, very defensive, and keeping people out, kind of a thing. And then, we had the Father of Wands, the King of Wands in the reverse too. And to me, that means that someone's power has been greatly diminished. It's almost like, uh, a lot of times I think of wands sort of as, representations of the masculine nature. And so in this, it feels as if someone has been made impotent, right? Someone has been, I mean, maybe not literally, but there's been some power reduced here. Someone's role has been diminished. Someone has acted impulsively and it has backfired. And yeah, so what surprised me though is when I got to the bottom of the deck, when I flipped it over and I saw the 9 of Cups. And very clearly, the first thing that came to mind as I was running this story through, I was like, all I heard was, "There art thou happy. There art thou happy." And I was like, what? So, of course, me being a little bit, I really love Shakespeare. I wish I could dive deep into it more, but I just love his writing, the wordplay, all of that. It's always been very enthralling to me. So of course I go get out my big old Shakespeare book, right? And because I was like, they're happy. All I know is that it comes from the Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet. So I turn to the book, I start reading, and I'm like, okay, where is it? So the part of the story that it's in is basically, we've gotten to the point in Romeo and Juliet where Romeo and Juliet have met. They have secretly gotten married. The friar has married them and performed the ceremony, and they've gone back. Romeo has gotten into a little bit of a tiff with Juliet's cousin Tybalt, and accidentally taken him away from this world. And so Romeo goes into hiding, and the priest, the friar, basically is like the go-between. And the prince has declared not that Romeo be put in jail, or that Romeo pay for his crime with his own, by, a life for a life type of thing, but just banished. So Romeo shows up in the friar cell. I'm just looking at that here. Romeo shows up in the friar cell and is just going off on this rant about being banished, and about how if he's banished, he won't be able to see his wife, like his new wife, Juliet. and she'll be taken by some guy. And it's kind of like he's complaining about losing his toy, right? It's like he's complaining about losing. It's like, what? I'm sorry, I'm like laughing the whole time that I'm reading this because, it's like, it's young love, but it's also, very, the social scene is important, like all of that stuff. And it's just like, that's so immature, which is the point of the story, I guess. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So, we're talking here about Romeo complaining to the friar, and then Juliet's nurse comes in right here, and Romeo, he just kind of amps it up, and he takes a dagger, and he's just going to take his own life, right? And the friar stops him, and he's like, what? Wait a minute, I thought didn't you just like unalive somebody like just a minute ago? Like, what are you doing now? And so he runs down this list of they're happy. Like, you're forgetting the end game here. You're forgetting what you have at stake right now. And so the there art you happy comes in, where let me read it. What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy too. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pouts upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed. For such die miserable. Get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence, and therefore comfort her. But look, thou stay not till the watch be set, for thou canst not pass to Mantua, where there shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, to reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. There art thou happy. There art thou happy, because guess what? In this reading here, you walked away with your life, right? If you resonate with this reading at all, what I'm just pulling out let's correlate it a little bit with the friar trying to even things out. You walked away with your life, right? Like, I don't even think maybe you even understand with this, your dreams were dashed, right? You're mad, you're angry, you're no longer able to act. I mean, you're not allowed to play with your toy, right? There art thou happy. You dodged a whole bunch of things that were aimed your way that were going to knock you down, and you lost something that you never really had anyway. But you still got 9 of Cups. You still got the ability to move on with your life, right? You still have, you're still ready to, well, at least I'll say ready to mingle, in the sense that you still have life, right? You still have the ability to move around and do your thing and make things right. Okay? So I just wanted to share. I thought that was really cool. And this is what I think is really cool about reading tarot, is making these connections. And I just think it's cool. Thanks. Bye.